Arguing with people is part of every man's life. Once you open yourself to new opinions and topics, arguments spark up as a common ritual of society. Male-female relationships are a major source of these conflicts. Many men struggle to negotiate the fact that a woman's femininity is mainly predicated on her emotions and mood swings. But for many, it's an ongoing task. In fact, most relationships fail because of this very reason, because a man and a woman simply cannot stop arguing. These days, most guys have trouble with this because they aren't masculine enough. Think about it. How can you control her femininity if you don't have any testosterone left in yourself? You should know that there is only one method for arguing with women, and that is the masculine way. Her mood swings should be stabilized by your masculine energy. You won't ever again find it difficult to argue with women if you understand this. What you are about to learn in this video could forever change how you deal with women and the rest of the world. Now, without wasting any more time, let's go over the 5 strategies to argue with any woman in a masculine way. Chapter 1. Emotional state. Men need to maintain their composure as much as possible, especially in high-stress scenarios, like confrontations, or even if a fight breaks out. Regretfully, for many men, their women possess the amazing ability to sway them only by their attitude. You have to set aside your emotions in order to be as present as possible. Even if she screams at you or becomes hostile, it's normal for her to be upset with you, so you shouldn't be afraid of it happening. It's an argument, not a walk in the park. It is by no means the right time to take care of her. Despite the fact that most men use affection as a tactic to stop arguments, I would say that this is the worst course of action if you want to defuse the situation. Her feminine character will also make her quite emotional and shaken up during an argument. Accept the fact as it is, and keep it in mind with every word you say. The last thing you want to do is lose control. If you maintain your strong alpha frame, you will be able to resolve the situation without placing yourself in a submissive position where she could take charge. Chapter 2. Focus on the problem. There is usually a backstory to a fight, which is why it gets so heated in the first place. Today's emotional and feeble men typically begin worryingly concentrating on the cause of the argument, rather than investing all of their effort to find a workable solution. You will only hurt yourself internally if you pay attention to what she says and get upset about it. If you're in a fight, you should never turn against yourself. It would be like fighting a war, only to let yourself get exhausted and die. Find a solution to the problem rather than dwelling on the hurt her words have caused you. Remember, a man of masculine character never dwells on the difficulty of a situation, but rather on the possibility of resolving it. Before we continue to the next point, if you want to keep receiving real value that works in the real world, and if you're tired of these fake masculine figures out there giving absolutely dog shit advice that never really works, then do consider subscribing to this channel for your own good. You might just learn something new. Chapter 3. Keep yourself open. It's possible for a lot of red pill gurus to convince you that anything a woman says is untrue and not worth your consideration. That may very well be the case in certain instances, but it would be absurd to generalize this problem to all circumstances involving women. If you just swallow your ego and listen, you can easily resolve a lot of disputes and fights. I'm not saying be a mindless follower of her every word. Rather, I'm saying be the thoughtful, level-headed man that you are supposed to be. When a disagreement arises, the goal should be to spend time and energy determining the best course of action that benefits both sides. I'm going to say something that may surprise you. The point of arguing with your partner is to find a solution, not to win the argument. You should be worried about winning in life, not winning against your girlfriend. Both men and women should take note of this. Regardless of how strongly you believe you are correct, you could always be in error. As the great Roman emperor Marcus Aurelius once wisely stated, everything you see is a perspective. and everything you hear is an opinion. Remain composed and pay attention to her instead, than arguing endlessly, acting irrationally, and discounting anything she has to say. Accepting occasionally that you don't have all the puzzle pieces fit together doesn't make you weak. Listen to what she has to say as well. Errors occur, and the most beneficial outcome is always learning something new. You are simply doing yourself harm when you vehemently deny that as a possibility. Chapter 4. Be straightforward. I'll be speaking from personal experience. For many years, I was so afraid of hurting a girl's feelings that I tried to hide my thoughts in a jumble of ramblings and unnecessary self-corrections, only to make matters worse for myself. To everyone watching, constantly delaying what you have to say only worsens the problem that caused the argument to break out in the first place. If you need to say something important, say it. Be brave and stand up for what is right. It's pointless to keep everything inside until you spew it all out at once, which is why most marriages fail. Both the man and the woman never discuss their feelings and never really open up. They let their dislike for each other build up over time. It's like putting one brick at a time between you until you have a full-size brick wall. Then, with a single snap, both of you erupt into flames, fighting each other. So don't try to be nice or sugarcoat things for her, because while you may be able to minimize the problem for a short time, it will backfire massively in the future. The best way to gain her respect is to demonstrate stability and certainty, and clear communication is one of the best ways to do so. And if you want to improve communication with your romantic partner, then I suggest you watch this video. Chapter 5. Confidently make your point. It's heartbreaking to think that the entire world will tell you that your point of view is incorrect, controversial, or stupid. So many guys will enter an argument with their partners with this mindset, concealing their intentions and opinions beneath layers of deceptive discourse. Keep in mind that women are quite capable of detecting a liar. Women are naturally more emotionally intelligent than most men, and seeing you try to be one will only irritate them. Instead of being a little bitch who is hesitant to give his girlfriend honest criticism, start acting like an alpha and erase any fear of potentially hurting the other person by telling the truth. You are causing no harm to anyone. Give up on your weak mentality. It's an unavoidable part of life. Whether you like it or not, you must be brave and capable of dealing with the possibility of her rejection of your points. Nothing is more repulsive than a man who is unable to access the riches of free speech. Just remember this: arguing and disagreements are unavoidable. Instead of focusing on winning an argument as if it were a boxing fight, begin by seeking the truth and focusing on the answer.